Welcome to the Medical Marijuana Bootcamp. I'm Tang.
I'm Chubbs. Today we're going to go over how it is possible for states to approve the use of medical marijuana for patients when there is a federal ban or a federal law against it. How is that possible?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to make any sense because federally marijuana is still illegal. You know, what you have in that bowl and what I have in this bowl. In fact, because it's federally illegal, why don't we have a bowl here?
But just so you all know, we are in California right now. So this is not locally or illegal by state.
I'll touch on this after we have this bowl.
So we're only breaking a little bit of law. It's hard to believe that what we just did is illegal on any level. Is it possible for me to go down the street right here in California, Orange County, Southern California, whatever, and buy medical marijuana, but the state or the federal, the feds say no, it's you can't do that, but I can, I do.
In '96 there was a certain controversy because the state passed a law that's against federal law. Technically, the feds can come in and apply federal law and bust every single marijuana smoker in California.
Right.
Technically, that's true because in federal law it says that if you possess marijuana, marijuana is illegal. You go to jail and to store it. But
the people of the great state of California.
Yeah, and this is a great state, even though it's bankrupt.
We decided that we pretty much disagree with federal law.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
no?
we added an addendum on, and we said there's a medical marijuana. There's a special classification, and patients that are approved under these conditions are allowed to access medical marijuana, and that have a valid recommendation from a doctor.
Gotcha.
And so, so for a long time there was like the Bush administration in particular, they were using federal drug enforcement agency agents to to enforce federal law on things that were legal in California. Because medical marijuana is legal in California, and most of the things that happen involving this business are legal.
But from a federal point of view, laws were being broken.
Exactly. So now things changed under Obama, and more specifically, Attorney General Eric Holder, because in February of 2009, he issued a statement saying that the feds will no longer intervene in state law, and they're going to let states experiment with laws, even though they directly contradict federal law.
Right. Not just medical marijuana. But
not just medical marijuana.
Right, just laws in general.
Yeah, just laws in general. They're going to, since a lot of states are failing now, they're going bankrupt. They're going to let people experiment because different states have whole different populations. There's different likes and dislikes that are that come with the territory.
Economic factors that go into where the states are located.
Right.
If it's in the middle of the country, you've got no port versus California. So yeah, I can see. It totally makes sense that different states, should have the ability to experiment and run themselves in a way almost like each state's a different company. Exactly,
and even different cities are allowed to do that inside the state, and then it gets even more complicated, right? But shorter answer is, Eric Holder in February said the feds were no longer going to be involved in states' issues, and for the most part they've kept their promise, although there's some examples where they haven't. But for the most part, it's been way better than the Bush administration, and I think as long as the Obama administration is in office, they're going to hold to their word and let California play with the idea of legalization.
I think it's a good idea. There's no, in my opinion, the downside, the pros far outweigh the cons. So there's really no reason why it shouldn't happen. But as far as, let's say it becomes fully legal, is that going to be not just federally, but in California? I mean, is it possible that you can have complete legalization of marijuana, not medical marijuana, just marijuana in California alone, but still have it federally illegal?
That's what the federal government is now saying, that you can directly contradict the laws of the federal government, if you think your state will benefit from it, and the federal level will no longer intervene.
And is marijuana illegally on a state level? Is it illegal on a state level, or is it illegal on a federal level?
It's both, because only medical marijuana is legal.
Not medical, just marijuana.
Yeah, marijuana is illegal on a state and federal level.
Gotcha. So only medical marijuana is legal. So in order for marijuana in general, we would have to flip state and federal law.
To be truly
full legal, like alcohol.
That's absolutely right, Chubbs. And until the federal law is changed, we will not see any of the enormous benefits that this plant that's contained in this plant, just because you can't get federal grants, like Stanford or Science or something like that.
Right.
They can't get a grant to study marijuana because it's still too legally gray, because the federal government still has it illegal. But as soon as they lift that ban, we're going to find out exactly what this plant can do.
And then it's wide
It's game
open.
on.
Yeah.
This is going to be this is the next wonder medication here. In particular, the cannabinoids. And shouts out to Dr. Melby.
The fact that we're held back, and the real research, the correct research, hasn't been done on this yet.
Right.
Here we are, 2010,
Right.
and we're talking about such potential that's held back because of these archaic, old school, old-ass, outdated laws.
Unfortunate.
Is what it is. Hopefully,
Hopefully you guys will change them.
Yes, we'll all change them. We'll
Yep.
all change them together. I'm Chubbs, medicalmarijuanabootcamp.com.
I'm Tang.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.